welcome to From All Angles. I'm Will, this is Alan, and this is Justin. And this week we're going to start off talking about the main event scene in professional wrestling and how, due to the recent steroid controversy that has shrouded professional wrestling as a whole, should they really be pushing these huge meatheads versus guys that don't look like, you know, they had a bowl of steroids for breakfast? Now, you know, to let you TNA fans and Ring of Honor fans out there know, we're not excluding TNA and Ring of Honor because they don't exist or they're not important. We're doing so because basically the whole steroid argument does not apply to them like it does WWE. Obviously, WWE thrives off these huge, monstrous looking men. So without further ado, let's get into this discussion. First of all, you look at Raw. Cena and Lashley. You're two guys feuding for the world title at Vengeance. Great American Bash. My bad.
But there's so many pay-per-views like this year, or what, from here on out, that you're always going to get confused what pay-per-view it is, right?
That's right. And it's $40 a pay-per-view, so geez, man. I'm either spinning up top and spinning from the wallet. But, you know, you got Cena and Lashley going at it. Two huge muscle-bound men right in the middle of the biggest steroid controversy in professional wrestling history. I don't really think that's a smart idea. When you've got King Booker, you've got Randy Orton, controversy or not, doesn't look like he, thrives off them. And you've got Mr. Kennedy. Why not push these guys instead of the two meatheads at the top of the card?
Right. Well, I mean, number one, I think it's weird booking that they're doing Lashley and Cena so soon, because I would think that you would want to save a match like that for maybe like SummerSlam or Survivor Series or even WrestleMania for that matter, because these are like the two big dominating forces. Lashley's Lashley's so over, or trying to put him over anyways, and then Cena's almost a 1-year title reign. But I think personally on Raw brand, I think they need to push Carlito, because Carlito, he good gimmick, he can talk, he can wrestle. I mean, or Shelton Benjamin even. That's what I think.
Right. I agree with Alan. You have Shelton Benjamin, you have CM Punk, who I know is being pushed with the ECW title, but really, how much does that title even mean? I mean, it'll be good that he actually gets it, whenever that is. I know he's chasing Nitro for it right now. I don't know if he's going to win at the Bash or SummerSlam or whatever. He's going to get it eventually. That's pretty obvious. But like I said, I'm talking like actually main eventing an actual pay-per-view. That's what we're talking about as far as who should be actually main eventing.
The main event scene. The guys in the company. The guys that, when you think WWE, you think these guys. The Triple H, the HBK, the flag bearers. Rather than looking and seeing these guys that are on Saturday morning cartoons with muscle on top of muscle, these fictional Greek godlike characters, how about some average Joes that we can get behind that don't look like they're genetically enhanced? Instead of the Dragos, how about the Rockies, for you Rocky IV fans out there? I mean, just people that fans can get behind, because you can't get behind guys you don't see walking down the street as an everyday person.
Right. It's like for the first time in 10, 12 years, since the days of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart getting their first push, main event push, they have that chance again right now under, bad circumstances, but I mean, here's their chance right now to do it, where they're going to get behind the actual guy that had the natural build and the natural talent and push him to the sky, because that can actually carry the company. At least they look like they have the ability to do that with, like I said, the Shelton Benjamins, the CM Punks, the Matt Hardys, the guys that just seem to have that reputation of always being held down because they can't talk good on the mic. But you have the problem where the guys that talk good on the mic, well, hey, since they do that, let's put them in the ring. They'll eventually get good. That makes about as much sense as in the NFL, a football player that talks to the media, and somebody says, well, hey, he talks to the media pretty good, let's put him out on the field, even though he's not ready. You got to think about the psychology of what you're doing.
The only thing that I do agree with right now that they are doing is see, over on SmackDown, we got Edge as a champion. He's not all built up, jacked up, but he can work and he can go, and he's a good talker. He's a total package, and also MVP, up and comers. So I definitely like what they're doing, but I think that they kind of missed out on the draft. They should have got a couple of more key talent on their show, which is unfortunate for them.
Yeah, the draft was great, but it was disappointing. It was awesome when SmackDown pulled Tori Wilson, but it was disappointing the fact that Raw was not able to get Hornswoggle, who I think right now could be main eventing Great American Bash against Khali if he was still on Raw, which I think would be money in the bank.
Literally. You never know.
You never know, man.
But the thing is that they do about the brands is basically you have your ECW where the Misfits go. You have SmackDown where you get repackaged or you develop your character. And you have Raw, which is, you know, the flagship like it's always been. It seems like if you look at the draft lottery, you saw Booker came over, Kennedy came over, Lashley came over. The three guys that were hot on their respective brands the last year came to Raw because that's the next step for their character. And other guys that didn't seem to fit in with Raw that need to be repackaged in some sort went to the other brands, ECW or SmackDown, that they just need a different environment.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, whenever they move these guys over, like Booker and Kennedy and all these guys, I mean, with Triple H, you know, being a part of, like, you know, I guess creative, I mean, that's going to, you know, hurt their push. I mean, it seemed like they were going to put the world title on Kennedy, or at some point in the year, it seemed like they were going to put it on him because he won Money in the Bank. So I would assume that he was going to win it. But then they, you know, he got hurt, and then they had to rush it off of him and put it on Edge. But
and now he's losing to Super Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting pinned by Super Crazy.
Yeah,
in like 10
which is crazy, man. But, you know, and as like he was saying, Triple H is the booker. Anytime you have an active wrestler as a booker of a federation, you know, it's not really the best idea. Nash and WCW, you know. I mean, need I say more? I could say more, but I don't really.
And it even goes back in history when you have Bill Watts down the Southern Territories.
Kevin Sullivan, right, yeah, exactly, there you go.
Greg Gagne, Mr. Vern Gagne getting the push, his son that's built like me and talks like Lashley with a high-pitched voice, if you can imagine that. I mean, just retarded.
Right, and I mean, to even back up everything that we're saying, to push the guys with the natural look and natural talent to them, you look at the UFC, how much money they made in the last couple of years, especially this last year. You have guys that are going anywhere from lightweights, middleweights, welterweights, and lightweights itself. They don't all have to be heavyweights to make the money. You have guys like George St. Pierre, who's welterweight, Matt Hughes, welterweight, Rich Franklin's middleweight. These guys that are natural-looking people, and they're making money for that company. That's why there's so many buys for that company, because of the athletes that they actually have, and just the badass job that they do on Spike TV with all the countdown shows and the All Access shows. So that's proof right there that the natural talent can make you money no matter what. You don't have to talk good on the mic to Joe Rogan after a fight or anything like that, or have an intriguing character. That'll add to it, yeah, but you don't have to have the gimmick, so to say.
Another, I'm sorry to jump in there, another good parallel would be boxing, okay? What is the biggest buy in the last 5 years in boxing? It wasn't in the heavyweight division. It was Mayweather, and it was De La Hoya. Two little bitty guys just going at it. The fans don't care if you're 6'6", 280 and solid muscle. They just want to see a good, well-fought, exciting match, fight, whatever you have, you know, whatever have you. WrestleMania 12, you know, well-renowned as the greatest main event in WrestleMania history. What'd you have? Two guys that could go. You know, they weren't big, but they could go. And I don't see any problem with that.
And even, like we'll say, with that one match, who were the two guys? Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. The two guys that really made a name for themselves.
And they took up 1/3 of the card, 60 minutes. I mean, of the biggest show of the year. And, you know.
And it went to sudden death also.
Yeah, so it was just, I mean, that's proof right there. You don't need Ultimate Warriors all over your roster to, you know, win the ratings. It's, you know, you don't need it.
All you need is a chance. If you get that chance, all you need is one chance. And they're going to deliver because they have that talent. They're going to showcase it because they have the TV time that is so crucial to every person on every roster.
That's right. And for all you fans out there, make sure you check the Great American Bash out coming up Sunday this month. Not Vengeance, okay? Not Vengeance, the Great American Bash.
Victory Road is this coming up Sunday, so check that out as well.
Hell yeah.
And so that'll be it for this week. Appreciate you checking us out again. And I assume we'll be back next week, if not, whenever we possibly can. So until then, Justin, this is Will, this is Alan from All Angles, and we'll see you later.